things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. And our product we have here, well, this is not one of the products, but one of the products we do make is our TV technology. This is something different. This is going to be part of the Quantum series collection. And this right here is going to be a new color screen. Let me come over here and get a zoom in on this. So now we got a stand. It's actually the stand I have up front with the screens on it. It's the backwards area. I just put two boxes on each side so I can do it on a standalone to get another idea of this. Because when we put it against the black screen is more advanced technology, but as I said before, this is a different type of screen. So all our screens have to be different. Just play a little bit here. Now we're using our Christie LW400 projector, 720p WXGA with 1000 to 1 contrast. Projector's 4000 lumens, but we have it in whisper mode, which is eco, which makes the projector down to around 2500 lumens. Yeah, I went to a micronet. I had one just now a few minutes ago. Jeez, I hate those things, man. I get them all the time. These things trigger off. Just had one just now a few minutes ago. It triggered. Whew, I hate those things, man. This is why we can't ride. We can't. No motorcycles, no cars, nothing, none whatsoever. We just like that, black out, and just come out of it. Man, I had a car accident if I was driving right now. Man, I hate that mess. I gotta go get a sleep study done to figure out what's going on in my brain. Alright, people, I'm chatting with somebody. I'm doing something right now. Yeah, I go off and on, but this is why I don't drive no vehicles, no motorcycles, nothing at all, period, because I just like that, shut down and then boop, right back up again. Which again, going through a whole sleep study course to figure out exactly what's triggering it. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. I got work to do. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. So we do want to make it darker, much darker than what it is. And I do want to change a few things on it. And he's in this hut. Okay, good. Alright, I had to cool it down in here because these projectors, this one right here, even though we had an eco mode, it generates heat. So, yeah, I don't feel like getting cooked. So he's chilling in his spot. And give me a chance to do this on a standalone. Color on it is fantastic. Produces incredible color. But we do need to make it darker. It has to be darker. And there's something else I'm going to change on it too. That's a little feed I wanted to put on the bottom. This is actually a screen that fits over here. There's screens on it. I can reverse it on backwards and have those little stands on there. I can actually test my screens at. This is what I'm going to bring on site. We should have the full completion probably by Monday. Get it done by then. We'll have its true color. That'll look amazing from the floor. Jeez. I like this. Oh, it's an OLED 4K abstract. Really? Yeah, they made OLED abstracts. Okay. I'll have to subscribe to them. Oh, we already subscribed to them. Okay, cool. Hold on here. So for the basic light information, it does operate on the Pico projectors with no problem. I rated it probably somewhere between maybe about 5% done because there's so much stuff we could do to it. So I got to do ultra short throw. We still have to do the final form of it, which will probably be done by Monday. Monday or Tuesday. And it picks up nice and bright. Especially for a screen that doesn't match traditional screens. lucky team we have up here is the Phantoms. I think it's the Phantoms we have up here. We're gonna have to make one of those screens for them. They got the huge Phantom fans up here. So we're gonna have to make one of those screens. Definitely. Because those would sell like hotcakes up here. Yeah, how good the white levels are. Basically for a surface that's, like I said, it's kind of it's a sort of a light hazel, but I want it to be darker. But I already got my upgrade ingredients already good to go. We're ready to go on the upgrade ingredients. I'm gonna do portrait on here too. I'm gonna build me a portrait screen. Ah, yeah. We definitely have to build a portrait screen setup. I definitely have to build one. Just two of those would do it. Gotta build one. Because we have portrait capabilities. This thing pulls up amazing color. I want to do a pre-recorded this, show this off on multiple channels. Definitely do a pre-record on this. So we're going to do this in 24 ounces, 32 ounces, and 50 ounces. Those are sizes I'm going to do. tell you, for a screen this color, it picks up an insane amount of white levels. White levels are really high. So the new alter we're going to do to it on Monday, yeah, it's going to be much darker. It's going to have a much more deeper brown to it. A darker brown to it. Going to be the read all this, no problem. The color pickup, no problem. And then we're going to do a green one next. I was just over in the post. I was talking about doing one for the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles. Now see, we do Dallas and we do New York Giants. They're blue. But we're going to have the permission from them in order to put the border in the team's logo. But you got to have permission for that. Just can't go taking things without permission. You get in trouble for that. Trademark. You get sued for those things. So you can't be making money off somebody else's work without their permission. I don't think they're going to have a problem with it. Basically signing on. And they get a percentage of it anyway. They get a percentage of the sales. We have to work out a deal on how much they actually get. But at least we have permission to use it. Speakers hooked up. I had to get some small speakers and just hook them up over here. Look at that. I tell you, the colors on this thing are insane. That's where I need to be at. The color's going to pop much higher. Much, much higher. And I'm doing partial lit. And then after that we do full lit, and then we do lights out. I want them separated. What else do we have here? When you do a screen of a different color and you put a white surface up there showing that you can still maintain color without having any appearance of any tint to it, that's when you've got it. But I've seen people try to make different color screens, they come up with a tint attached to them. They don't know how to get the white levels to hit or the contrast to read. It just brings up that weird, strange tint color to it. Now, for those people that are coming in and watching this for the first time or watching this later on, projector we're using in the demonstration, which we get asked all the time, what are the projector we're using? We're using a Christie LW400. Let me rewind that back. LW400 projector. This projector only cost me 50 bucks. I love saying that because it only cost me 50 bucks. We don't have a challenge for ourselves to show that our products do not require expensive high-end projectors to function. I get my, there we go, to function. My challenge for me is I can only buy projectors under $200. That's it. So, printed out every last one of my receipts, the projectors that I buy, so I can show that on site for my, or if we go to expos with our technology, that we didn't have to spend anything over $200 for our technology to operate. I'm going to go back to that shark. So, no calibrating, no expensive bells and whistles, cheap, anyone can afford it. Now, will this technology be more expensive than the black? No, black is always more expensive on our terms because it's a black screen. These will be a little bit lower than the black technology. But we're going to make these in gallons. I'm going to keep these in 24s, 32s, and 50s. I feel like using these cheaper projectors in our demonstration because it proves that our customers don't have to sacrifice to get a good picture. They're not required to spend a lot of money. So much light this thing can take because now it's right directly over top of those lights. See right there. Right over top of the lights. You see screen reads with no problem. Because it's that ILEG technology, that's why. It's that gain on it. That gain is designed to absorb, so that anything it hits, customers do not have to worry about being trapped in the dark. I'm so lost on Marvel. I don't even know where it's going at. I have no idea where it's going. There's so many episodes of it, I'm lost. So you're trying to keep up with Star Wars. Oh no, the Star Wars we had. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Done. That's it. See, after that, everything, I'm watching. Right, so we have to show these. Quite frankly, I don't like to do lights out because it's too easy. They're just way too easy to do. There's no challenge in it. Unless we have white surface laying up there, some kind of comparison screen, then other than that, yeah, other than that, no, it's just too easy of a demonstration. But people do use these with the lights out, so I'll show you what they look like with the lights out. They're actually outstanding. Beyond outstanding. Alright, so since we have around, yeah, got 2 of them already done. We have roughly about, maybe 3 more after this. We're going to have them with the original label, but it'll be marked exactly which one it is, because I'm not designing a bunch of labels for these things. It's going to have a quantum black star, and at the bottom will have the name of which one it is. So I think we're going to have the color series, which are going to be, they're not going to be broken down as going to be a different charge for each color. It's going to be, you pick what color you want for that, and then the black is on its own by itself. The black is more advanced. It can pull the 1% infinity level. And we'll keep the colors to a multiple selection. It makes it much easier for me at the end of the day. Man, I can watch this all day. Apparently I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. Now, I did this screen with that little roller. Reason why? See if the screen would streak. It's streak proof. All the technology developed is streak proof. So that little tiny roller, that 2-inch roller, I painted the screen in. Usually smaller rollers will cause the screen to streak. Not this technology. Now, do we advise you to use a small roller? No, I don't use a small roller. Period. Use a 9-inch roller. We did that for test purposes. Easy lights out. I'm going to get that right there. So we're going to do a red, we're going to do a green, a blue, and actually I'm doing a rose gold. Someone requested rose gold. We could do one for them. We're going to do one. LG snowboarding. OG snowboarding? No, LG. LG snowboarding? No. The reason this white level is extremely low. So this screen's going to have some weird colors attached shown, and they're going to read white levels on an extremely high level. And if you saw the demonstration in the video I just did, painting, no problem. I was able to paint a robot, done, put it up there, dries in no time at all, blend right into the screen, no problem. Adding some sound. We're doing the fabric next pretty soon. Sheesh. What are you doing? This is not even connected to that. Those colors are going to come in handy because I told you about how we're working on a cardboard projection screen, eco-friendly cardboard projection screen that's fully weatherproof that you can take outside. This will be fantastic in the garden. And one of them we have in this pretty green that we're designing. Oh, the green's gorgeous. So that way it can blend into your garden or wherever you want to have it. People that are into the environment and all the other good stuff at the end of the day, you're going to freaking love them. The cardboard. And no, it's not the kind of cardboard we use in here. It's a special kind of cardboard we had to order. They are basically flame resistant also too, and fully weatherproof. But we had to design our own coating. I've been testing since last year, since I was in the garage. 4 pieces of cardboard soaking in water to see if the results, how long it would take to deteriorate. We actually developed our own form of spray-on coating because again, the coating they make is kind of expensive. So got to keep prices low so that everybody can afford the technology. So we got to build our own stuff. So we have it. We have a coating that we can coat over anything we want and basically weatherproof it. So we got some screens we're going to be developing pretty soon and completely made out of cardboard. Skyworth food demonstration. Let's take the long way. So this is going to be part of the Quantum series of the first screen paint you see right here on the larger screen. This one will be sold individually by itself, but the color ones will actually be sold on a shopping cart where you can pick out which color you want, which is a free color option. And we'll put them side by side and see which one basically pulls the different colors. They may pull better contrast, some may pull higher white levels. Depends on what color you want. On top of that, this is going to be something that you, even when the projector's off, your screens look absolutely gorgeous. What we're working on with the tile system screens, we're going to have frame borders that match your environment. So if you got a kitchen, one of those, I was talking about when it's kitchen, we can actually match the interior to the frame to your kitchen. And that's going to be what that technology behind us. So all this stuff we're putting in right now, this is for stuff we're getting ready for having our own physical screens and having a selection of screen paints that you can use, and you don't have no expensive projectors required. That's the beautiful thing about it. You can have this thing ready. The lighting doesn't bother. Keep in mind, we're in a commercial environment right now, so our lighting we have in here is going to be far more harsher than what you would have at home. But it's good to know that this technology will survive in commercial and also survive in residential with no problem. So do you need HDMI ports? No, we're not using HDMI ports right now. We're using the VGA HDMI port on this projector right here. This projector came with a damaged HDMI port. We don't have to worry about that. We can switch that right over to HDMI with an adapter and still pick up a crystal clear, sharp image. I'm curious how things turn out when people are going to sit there and say, well, you have to have an expensive projector. Technically, you do not have to have an expensive projector. I've been telling you all that for years. They advise you to go out and spend the money for these expensive machines. You don't have to. Spending too much money. Way too much money. And yes, this technology and all technology developed is fully ultra short throw compatible inside and out, which means the screens are fully weatherproof. They can go out and play. Now, we used to have color screens. They were called the exotics, which we had to change that name because they brought up other stuff at the end of the day that was not well played out with our screen. So they're going to be under the Quantum Color Series. No color wash out. Everything's bright red. Yeah, the bright reds, the greens, the skin tone, all that's coming up. Mind, this is not a traditional color screen. Oh man, this is gonna be nice. Music absorbs so much light.
Fargo is your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo. Fargo lets you do this. Fargo, turn off my debit card.
Ready to cover everything. This technology will allow people who want more brighter, more vivid colors. This is what this is perfect for. Some people want more contrast. Some people want more color. But all in all, spend the money for a 4K projector and spend all that money? No, not even needed. You want 4K, you can have 4K. You're not forced to have 4K. That's the problem. When you're dealing with screens today, you're forced to have it. I'm gonna go with Snow Screensavers. I just did Snow Screensavers and I found some of the most interesting snow demonstrations.
Meet a digital bank account built for businesses like yours with American Express Business Check.
Interesting part. Someone that has a screen that doesn't read 100% contrast will lie to you on camera. It says it reads 100% contrast. Only darn well it doesn't. They'll sit you in a super dark environment. They'll get a projector with a heavy amount of contrast and lie to you and say, hey, I'm reading that contrast level, and they're lying. Can't read that. But as you can see, a gray screen won't even match this. And when we get done doing the alternations on it, yeah, it'll yeah, completely alter a gray screen. White screen, gunmetal screen, that'll make a difference. Gee whiz Louise. This thing has amazing white levels. Mind you, the 15% is brighter than this. So you imagine the white levels on a 15%. Black screen can blend right into this, which we're going to do some demonstrations on. I got a screen I'm actually designing. Several of the panels behind it are gray. And some of the panels are, okay, so we've got panels in different colors of gray, and you're going to watch a black screen trigger on. When it comes on this white level, it's going to blend into every single one of them. You won't know they're there until we turn the projector off, and you'll see that the screen in those certain areas were gray. That's what I'm going to be doing in demonstrations, to show how high the white levels are on a black technology. That scenery they just showed was freaking beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of white levels we're craving for our technology. I'm looking for testing out dark and technology. We need the really high white levels. That's what we need. And this is what I'm talking about, that the fact that we hunt for these levels, that when it comes to gray screens that gray screens, certified screens, wherever they may be, they should be looking for 100% black levels, and all those demonstrations need to be done in fully lit environments. We're not getting that on their end. We're getting dark environments, ambient light controlled environments, high powered machines to produce heavier contrast levels. That's what we're picking up on their end. I can't find 10 demonstrations, at least 10, give me 10. 10 demonstrations, fully lit environment, contrast only. Can't find them. Because they all have to be in the dark to fake the contrast levels, every single one of them. It's a big freaking cat. Ooh, look at that. I say it's friendly shape, it's not friend. This is the kind of white levels I love. This is what I'm talking about. Because we need this. Even though these screens are not 100% black, we need these levels. Because again, when you're doing different color screens, the last thing we do is have everything come out with a weird tint attached to it. That's why the white levels are extremely important to see those demonstrations. Oh wait, that's a dog. That's chewing on a tennis ball. come with like a pair of red sunglasses. On my yellow ones, everything literally comes up with a tint of yellow on them. That's why you gotta have all those tests done. Because what if you get somebody comes in and goes, hey, you know, they lie on your product and say, hey, it came up with a tint of blue attached to it, or a tint of green attached to it. So we don't even go to PayPal for those. We go to court. I don't bother with PayPal. I'm done. You can take it to PayPal you want. We'll see you in court. That's it. That's what's sitting in front of a judge. We don't bother with that. When you start making those kind of comments at the end of the day, especially when we know all our stuff is tested and legit through the roof, oh yeah, we're going to court over this. It's going to cost you 12 grand. A small claims court. It costs you about $12,000. You lose in there. So I'm not bothering with PayPal on these. Nope. We're going to go straight to court. Because we know our stuff is tested. That's why we request a ship back every time. When we request and that notice comes out to you and say, hey, ship the item back to us, we'll test it again. It has a batch number sitting on top of it. So when we batch number these things, they're done differently. They're done on white surfaces, 1,000 lumen projectors, fully lit environments to show that the white levels are reading correctly. We show them in back tests before the product's actually sold. So that way, if we get somebody who comes in and tries to do something sneaky by saying, hey, look, it has a tint color to it, and we request a ship back, we'll test it right there on the spot with no problem, so everybody can see it. But that's not going to PayPal. That's going to small claims court. And if you lose in there, that's going to cost you 10 to 12 grand. Up here in Pennsylvania, it's $12,000. So I would advise you don't do dumb stuff. That's what it comes down to. Don't do dumb stuff. You won't lose $12,000 out of your banking account. Because if we're taking you to court on it, that means we can back it up 100%. That's why we're here testing everything out. All our stuff is tested. We can show a judge easily that everything that we design is tested before we actually can sell it to a customer. It has to go through vigorous testing. Then it has to go through a batch number verification showing the product was tested before it was shipped out. And then we can request a ship back on the product to have it sent back here to do the test again on YouTube live. First of all, you can't get around batch numbers. They're virtually impossible to get around them. That means if we had a batch number, it had a tint to it, it would show up literally in the test when we first do it. We would have seen it right from the door. So that's hard to get around those things. When we get them, we get those customers that try to think at the end of the day that, oh, we didn't do any testing underneath this stuff. They do not educate themselves on what we do. And they basically figure that we're going to try to keep the screen in the money. Nah, that's not going to go well for you. Nope. Even if PayPal's going to win in our favor, we're still going to take you to small claims court and sue you. All these have violation penalties on them. So if you violate one of these screens by making false demonstrations, we can take it to court and sue you for it. Now, for anybody who says, well, no. If you don't do dumb stuff does not happen to you. That's how the world works. That's how it works. You don't go rob a bank, you don't go to jail. You go into a bank, and I respect the bank when you walk in, right? You go in, you give the teller your money or whatever. They put it in your banking account. You go and you take money out. You don't go in there with a shotgun and a ski mask and rob them and then wonder why you're sitting in jail doing maybe 30 or 40 years because you went and robbed the federal bank. There you go. You know, common sense. You have common sense. We all have it. Some people just don't use it. So like I explained to before that, we had a building we're working at, they put in all new security cameras in there. All new security cameras. The only people that were complaining were the people that were taking breaks when they shouldn't be taking breaks, that were doing things they shouldn't have been doing on someone else's work time. Those are the ones complaining about the security cameras. Everybody else, I couldn't care less because I come in and work, I get my job done, and I'll leave. That's it. I leave at the appointed time. I come in at the appointed time. I do it all by the book. So I couldn't care less. I can put cameras in there from sun up to sundown. Don't care. Whatever policy you need me to sign, I'm good with it 1%. Because I do my job correctly. But if you're in there smoking weed and whatever you're doing and carrying on and acting up and doing all this stuff that you know if you can get caught, you can be fired, then you're going to be worried about the security cameras. Same thing, we have these policies to protect our company, to keep from people committing fraud against our business. The reason why they're there in place is so when people do commit these acts against our company, we can back ourselves and protect ourselves when we go into a courtroom. Anyone feels that we shouldn't have this and you feel, oh, that's wrong, they're just trying to hide something, I don't think that would be hiding something. I think that'd be not having batch numbers, not doing testing, not doing ship back on items and saying, hey, it's stuck on your property, you're stuck with it, you open it up, you're stuck with it. That would be fraud. That would be someone hiding something. All our stuff is out in the open for you to see it, including in the courtroom. The only people that are bothered by that are people that now are angry because they can't go online, they can't do dumb stuff because they'll end up in court. And who wants to take a chunk of $10,000, $12,000 out of your bank account, including all court fees at the end of the day, which are not going to be cheap? Yeah, life is hard enough as it is. No one needs to lose that kind of money or owe that kind of money. If you don't have it, mind you, they execute judgment on those things, and a debt collector will show up at your front door to take your things from you. So, again, not worth it. Now, as I said before, I have no problem with going to court. And you walk me to a courtroom, no problem at all. But mind you, I told you, for wasting my time, I'm a very busy person. We file counter lawsuits, and those counter lawsuits are $500,000. Why do you think no one's ever walked me into a courtroom? I've been around for how long? And not one person has ever walked me into a courtroom? Not one. You know why? Because they know we can back our stuff, that's why. No one wants to lose $500,000. That's why. Simple and plain. The judge looked at my track record and said, Mr. Bird, you've never been here before. No, I have never been here before, ever. For anything. Because I have a heck of a track record, that's why we back everything up. You have to be an idiot to walk us into a courtroom. You lose your shirt in there. But until then, for our customers who appreciate our products and do want better technology, and they are sick and tired of paying money for expensive projectors and being stuck in dark environments, they appreciate what we do. That's that half. Then we have that other half at the end of the day wants to do dumb stuff. Well, we're ready for you, just so you know. I gotta look at this Wolfie again. So even if it crosses your mind at the end of the day that I'm gonna figure, yeah, we got you already. We got you pinged already. You'll be taken care of in no time at all. I spent a lot of time, a lot of hard work. Whoa, what the heck was that? It sounded like, hold on for a minute. Like something popped. What did that? Hold on for a minute, in a minute. It's not the projector. Projectors are running. You know, it's pizza's running. Wait a minute, I'm gonna check that out. Not bad. A pop like that sounded like a projector. Projectors make that sound when they pop. This is running, everything else in here is running. Projector is running. There's not that. Gaming system, everything's running. Everything's running. And that's off. And the projector's running. And this one's not even plugged in. So where did that pop noise come from? It sounded like that door right there. I thought it sounded that noise came from that door. Nothing. Something fell. Something falls here. Alright, whatever. We'll get back to what I'm talking about. Oh, usually that pop noise comes from a projector doing that. Projectors do that. They make that pop noise, that pop. It ain't come from there at all, period. And I know someone didn't tap my door. But anyway, look at everything else. Everything's running here perfectly fine. Okie doke. whatever. Because the devil is about trying to cause trouble. But anyway, as I said before, yes, we have to back our products up to make sure no one's trying to rip us off. And I have actually dealt with everything you could possibly think of in the timeline that I've been in this business. And one of the things I've dealt with in this business is dealing with people trying to rip me off. And I've been through that before. So I've seen everything. I've seen people change settings in their projectors, swap out for dim lamps, all kinds of stuff. Even one guy even tried to change his settings in the middle of the recording. We even watched the whole thing. I was like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. I've seen just about everything. You sit down to anybody in business and you say, hey, I've seen just about everything you think of. People trying all kinds of ways to get over on people. Oh, look at he just sitting there thinking. You know, I'm sitting there thinking a little bit of thinking. But yep, seen it all. So that's why we have all that stuff in place. Batch numbers protect our customers. It's a guarantee that our product works. That's why I tell people don't buy things unless you know that they're backed up by batch numbers. Because you don't know what you can be getting at the front door. You could be getting anything. You could be getting any kind of house paint off a shelf. It can be sent to your door. You overpaid for this stuff. There's no testing. There's nothing underneath of it. And a lot of people got ripped off. And it got ripped off a lot of people. A lot of people got ripped off over that stuff. We thought that stuff was something different. It wasn't. It's just everyday house paint. That's all. You take a screen that came out 10 years ago and you introduce that screen to a 4K projector today, what do you think is going to happen? And they're going to say, hey, this is coming from the screen. It's not coming from the screen. It's coming from the projector. They got to prove that in court. They got to prove that it's coming from the screen. Which means they're going to take several screens just like it, put it right next to it, and see if it shows a difference than all the other screens. Alright, we are past our time here. I'm coming back in and get a recording of this. I got to post this to my sites. Man, that white level is beaming. Freaking loving it. Definitely got to subscribe here. Give a like on that. That's actually extremely good. I got to get a recording of that. I like that. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time. I got to go. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology. If it wasn't for Him, none of this would ever be possible. Gotta go. Thank you for your time. And God bless. The new technology, which we're going to have under a Color Quasar series collection. I'm going to start working on those shopping carts and getting them ready. We're going to have it at 24 ounces, 32 and 50s, free shipping. We ship anywhere in the world for free. And the color selection we're going to have when we start off it is all free selection. And which you want to choose is up to you. All free color selection. All right, got to go. Thank you and God bless.